there
I'll
we go.
stop sharing. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, can you guys see that?
It's coming up.
Coming up in a minute.
Yep.
How's that?
Yep. That sounds good. We can see.
All right.
All right. Now, if it'll let me change the screen. Come on. Sorry, it's just not letting me advance the slide.
It's a PDF mode, so you may have, yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's what it was. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adam. I'm the CEO of Aware AI. And our founding team is myself and Dr. Ben Sawyer. I worked previously at General Motors in strategy, helping to develop some of the vehicles you've either driven or heard of, like GMC Yukon, Terrain, Acadia, and helped to launch the Air Force Accelerator in Boston, which was a partnership between the United States Air Force and Techstars. And while that was going on, I reconnected with an old friend, Ben. And so Ben and I know each other from Colorado State. And I went on to mostly do things in business, and Ben continued on in science. And so he is a human factors and psychology professor. And so we have a good overlap of skills in terms of Ben also has some business expertise. He had an app that became part of mint.com. So good complementary overlapping skills make a good team. This is actually out of date, but these are some of our advisors. We actually have a couple more now. And so Dr. Kat Rahill advises us on things related to VR, AR. Charles Strohmeyer is our fundraising advisor. Chris White is Ben's uncle. He's a retired colonel and helps us with some of our government contracting. And Joe Verasso has also been helping us with fundraising. So we all hear a lot of news about autonomous vehicles and how they're going to change the world and the way we drive. But there's a lot of barriers to mass adoption, and that is a component of what we're working on at Aware. The problem we set out to solve is that when engineers design your vehicle's interior, they don't have any insights into how easy or distracting it's going to be for someone to operate the in-vehicle controls. So to get those insights, what they'll do is in about year 3 or 4 of a 5-year engineering program to develop that vehicle, they will do what's called human safety and usability testing with eye tracking. So you build a car, stick a bunch of eye tracking cameras in there, and then you hire people to drive around and perform, usual tests that they might do in the car, like using the navigation or programming the radio. And so then they analyze that data, and it gives them good insights into how distracting or how difficult it is to perform a certain task. The problem with that is the requirement for the physical prototype and for the human subjects. So that restricts when this can be used to year 3. And it also means that even when you get insights that you could use to improve the vehicle's design, a lot of major design considerations are already locked in. And there's a lot of political pushback within organizations to make those changes. And this is just kind of another illustration of the larger problem I was discussing. So right now, you're kind of restrained to late gates in the engineering process, which is not ideal. So when people wonder why does the interface matter? So the nuance and the kind of intricate operation of how smooth the human-machine interaction is between a driver and the interface actually matters a lot. So NHTSA found that 20,000 fatal crashes between 2012 and 2017 in the US involved a distracted driver. AAA has proven through research that every 2 seconds your eyes off the roads, you double your probability of getting into an accident. And we're also solving some similar problems in aerospace, and aircraft crashes reached an all-time high, a 6-year high in 2018. So to solve this problem, we created a new form of artificial intelligence that can predict the same metrics that are the outcome of human safety and usability testing with eye tracking. But we can do it using just a UI wireframe. So we come in the very beginning of the design process and provide those same types of predictions. So engineers can get that type of feedback and they can use it to improve the interface, but they get it at a point in the process where it's cheap and easy to make changes. So now instead of having to wait until late gates in the process, you can get the benefit of that iterative intelligence earlier on. And our hypothesis is that automotive manufacturers are able to iterate tens, if not thousands of times more than their competitors during a vehicle design process, that it's going to lead to best in class products that delight consumers, and that's going to be profitable for those manufacturers. So our technology has been tested in a proof of concept, and what that looked like is a major manufacturer had a new vehicle they were going to come out with, the next major redesign, and they wanted to know for 5 features these metrics of task completion time and one of the main metrics, TEORT, total eyes off road time, where you're looking at eyes off the road as a percentage of overall time. And so we were given a digital design, ran our predictions, and then a physical version of the vehicle was tested by a laboratory where they did this traditional human safety and usability testing. And what was found is that our predictions were highly accurate, but whereas it took them 30 days, $30,000, and a lot of personnel, we predicted those same metrics in about an hour with one person with a computer. In terms of traction, we did Mass Challenge last year. We participated in a thing called the Startup Innovation Fellowship in 2018. Where the government sponsored someone from the government to come kind of incubate with the startup for 6 weeks. So one of the people who wrote the Navy's unmanned system strategy for the Navy to 2045 came to Boston for 6 weeks and worked with us, which was pretty beneficial. And we've completed a couple of Air Force contracts. So we've done 2 contracts and had about $100,000 in revenue so far. And we're hoping to expand some of those contracting opportunities here soon. So in terms of a business model, we're planning to sell this as a SaaS product. So what this would look like is the automotive engineers can use the tool in their desktop interface as they're working through designs and quickly get feedback to improve their design. So that could either be as an API for the things they already use, or could just work in conjunction. In trying to understand some of the potential, this idea of kind of following a similar model to Optis was something that was suggested to us by a head of design at a major manufacturer that was a friend of Ben, my co-founders. And what he said is he thought it made sense to follow a similar path to Optis Spios. So Optis was a company that made modeling and simulation software, and they made a product called Spios that would allow automotive engineers to model what light looked like on different types of touchscreens under different lighting conditions. Because the big problem they had at that time is you come out with a new touchscreen, it has all the bells and whistles, but people can't see it, because of the glare. And they sold that modeling capability to Ansys, who's becoming one of the main players in terms of modeling and simulation for automotive and aerospace. And so even though we're not modeling light, it's a good analogy because we're bringing a new modeling capability to the market that currently doesn't exist, but that is powerful in its own right and is even more powerful when you pair it with other types of modeling capability. And for the investors, Optis was later acquired by Ansys for $300 million. So in trying to understand the total addressable market and kind of what the size of the opportunity was, the same leader at this automotive company said, well, at least at his organization, he thought they'd be willing to pay about $100,000 to $300,000 per year per user, and that typical organization would probably have somewhere between 25 to 300 seats per company. So when you multiply that out times the auto manufacturers and the tier 1 suppliers that build and design a lot of the HMI, now we believe it's about $1 billion recurring annual opportunity just in the automotive industry. So there's also similar opportunities and similar problems that to be solved in some other industries where there's equally lucrative opportunities. And it's really just a matter of, locating the R&D dollars needed to develop these new use cases. But for any industry, relatively inexpensively, we believe we can build a similar modeling capability to what we're doing in automotive. We're hoping to raise a larger round later this year. And so we're hoping that's one of the benefits of going through the program, is we think we'll be in a good position to raise money in October. Our global headquarters is the MIT Engine in Cambridge, and usually that's a great place to be. We're 3 blocks from MIT and about 6 blocks from Harvard, so it's a great place for a lot of fortuitous interactions with other people, but probably won't go back there for a few months, just kind of waiting out the crisis. And that's what I've got. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Adam. You can clap
Thank
it,
you.
but I think I can't hear the clap. Thank you. That was good pitch. I like the energy in there. I put in a couple of my comments, and then I think a couple other people's already put in their comments. My thing was really number one, definitely slides a little too wordy. So maybe work with the designer, whoever designed it, to make it more with the iconic, maybe more with icons as you're talking, because you don't want people to start reading, so they can, if someone start reading, they can't hear you or focus on your voice very well. That's number one. Number two really is the slide deck introduction should always start with a company. My name is Adam. I'm Aware AI. This is what Aware AI does. It's like there's a hook. Like you want to grab their attention right away, and really the problem was, you want to share the problem slide as well. Try to numerize a problem. It's like, how big is this problem, right? Like that kind of stuff. And then the last thing I want to say is a business model, the unit economic pricing on SaaS model is not breaking down. So how much is it? Like if I am a small, like for example, NIO, the car company NIO, or a smaller car manufacturer like Hyundai, which is family owned still, like how much is a breakdown what is a breakdown like in your industry? Is it per license? Is it per plant? Like whatever that is. So that needs to be there to see what it's going to be like. So like, how do you come up to that 300 million or something like that? Or was it $1 billion or something like that? So that number needs to be broken down. Like that's about it. Guys, Max and Iran has definitely a couple of the feedback. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, sure. So I agree with what Amir had said in terms of like a lot of words. I'm thinking maybe this might have been your deck for, emailing to somebody, which is totally fair. Like think about it from, you had the one great one with the secondary addressable market that was just super simple and you spoke to it very well. And I think you enumerate the problem really well, but make it very personal. Like your story about the founders was really personal and it might resonate a bit more clearly. I'm not saying, get into danger mode or establish it as kind of a tragedy, but make it personal for the people that are hearing it.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Yeah.
I think it took a little longer than expected. So it took almost 10 minutes, the total. So we might need to work on cutting it down by 50%, not more, right? And also there are a couple of the problem to solution slide. It took 4 minutes. So that means the first 4 minutes, the audience doesn't know what you are up to. So I think that probably you can pay some attention. And then on the last slide, when you are talking about the raising funds, you are using a word called hoping. We are hoping to raise. So hope is not the right strategy. We are planning. Replace that hope with the plan. And that we are planning to raise this much. I think that will give you a better bite in their mind. So those are the couple of high level, and we will work with you on one-on-one session for incorporating all these feedbacks into the deck.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. The next one is Feather Cloud.
All right. So, let me share this. One second. Where did I cannot find that? Okay, there we go. All right, let me know if you can see it.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so let's begin. We are Feather Cloud, a company for people who truly appreciate user experience.
The slide.
So
the
there's nothing there, by the way. It's like blank
Oh.
screen with one in the middle, like one line in the middle, weirdly.
I thought you stuck the feather there.
Oh, okay. I have a couple of screens and I just moved it, and now I realize that that was a bad idea. So I won't be looking at the screen, I will look over there. And another screen. Now it's good?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. All right, so we're Feather Cloud, a company for people who truly appreciate user experience. We are a video-oriented, cellular-based content delivery network over 4G and 5G. Basically, the problem that we are solving is video rebuffering, that annoying icon you get, when you can't stream. The problem roots from three main reasons, okay? Slow delivery times, which is because you have to travel a long way to the cloud and go back. 2, high variation, because sometimes you go through 3 or 4 or 5 different stops on the way. And 3, because basically files are too big. You want a 4K video, you don't really care if it's a 4GB file or not. And we're going to address all of these in this pitch. The implications of this problem are average latencies of over 100 milliseconds, a 40 chance of rebuffer, that annoying thing. And it might not be the reason people would stop watching Netflix, but if they would not have a good quality, 42.1% say that this is their #1 pain point. All right, a little bit about how video streaming works. Basically, your player asks the server or a reverse proxy for chunks of the movie. Okay, the movie is divided into small chunks. And basically, the higher you get it, we can see that we have an orange one, a purple one, and then 2 green ones getting to the player. That stems from how fast your bandwidth is. All right, so the solution that we are proposing for this problem is to reduce latency by delivery through the cell towers, okay? This is only on cellular, or mostly on cellular. Basically, what happens when you try to stream a movie from your phone right now, you go to the base station, then to the core. If you're lucky, you hit the POP, point of presence of, let's say, Akamai, and if not, you go to the origin, and then go all the way back. Now, the reason that you get YouTube and Netflix so fast and so smooth is because they are at the telco's core. They're at the cellular operator's core. And we want to bring it even one step closer to the base station level, which is going to be feasible on 4G and 5G right now. Okay, our unique selling proposition divides into a couple of different things. One is a clustered architecture. Basically, when you ask the base station for a movie, it will ask within the cluster. If it cannot find it within the cluster, it would ask the core to find it within the intercluster mesh. For that, we need our AI-driven caching with online optimization and predictive caching. Basically, what we do is we use optimization methods to know which ones to cache, which not, and we can also predict which are the most probable movies to be cached even before you watch it, just by analyzing the traffic. The third one is basically mostly operative. Basically, if we use, it's a rather new technique which is highly polished by now, which is called super resolution. So we can reconstruct the HD from the SD, from the standard resolution on the fly. And by that, we can pack 60% more movies on a base station. All right, the vision is basically the new era of distributed cloud. First, we had private computers, then we had cloud computing. Now we need something in the middle because we don't want to have it on our own device. But getting to the cloud cannot be feasible on use cases like digital healthcare, smart city security, gaming, smart and autonomous cars, and of course, video streaming. So we see the cloud shifting towards this end, which is where we want to be. Now, the team, basically, we have me, the CEO. I have a master's in AI and over 5 years of experience developing algorithms for a startup and for Intel. We have Aran, who has over 21 years of experience at Amdocs, developing software products for telecommunications organizations. We have Vineet, our video streaming consultant. He has worked at Altbiology, some of you may know, along with his PhD in wireless networking. So he knows a lot about the video side. And of course, we have Gal, our algorithm specialist. He just finished his PhD in game theory with one of the biggest names in the world in game theory. So he knows what he's doing and he can get us this one step further. Traction, we have mostly technical traction right now. We are working with a company in India right now and trying to get to the Indian telcos through them. But let's talk about the technical traction. Basically, we're working with Varnish, a Unix-based platform, which we are then putting our algorithms on. We can see over here that we have a small dashboard showing how good we are in some parameters that we are tracking. Now, business model. Basically, it's one of two business models. The one who would be probably most preferable on the telcos is this one, where the customers are the telcos customers, the Disneys and Netflix. And basically, we are under the hood and providing them with everything, with all the capabilities of this distributed caching. The other one is we bring the clients with us, and then we use the telcos as a channel partners. Another value proposition for the telcos is basically sparing traffic to core. The core is always busy. If you would ask anyone, any techie in a telecommunication company, he would tell you that this is always an issue. So we can relieve a lot of the traffic if we handle it further down the line. Then the core is free to deal with all of the other things which are not movies, which by the way are 80% of traffic. A pilot would look like this. Basically, it would be 1 month where the first 2 weeks we would be monitoring and optimizing our algorithms according to the traffic that we see. And then week 3 and 4 would be operational. And then we can see that we can actually improve the latency, the average latencies. And the success criteria would be an average latency of 25 milliseconds while keeping 25% of the requests under 50 milliseconds, which is as if it is on your own computer. Thank you very much, guys. Whoops.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a good presentation. I like it. It was very simplified, I think, for the complex problem that you're solving. Yep. I really like that it was, I mean, maybe the fact that I've heard it second time could be, must have helped me because, you know, I heard the problem the first time, but very nicely explained. The only thing that I found really that you should focus on, do some research should be, is to figure out the fact that how painful is the problem in the dollar value, right? So how much is costing for telcos to cache this on those nodes, right? Like, you know, on the middle nodes. So that's something you have to figure out. How much cost saving you're gonna get them. It's all about the cost and benefit, right? Are you saving, how much of the cost are you saving them, and how big of the benefit? At the end of the day, it matters is dollar value. Like, what is the dollar value of your saving, right? Exactly. So do some research around it. I know you will figure that out in your first test case, right? Like exact numbers, But if you have an estimate on that, that would be amazing.
We do have some numbers. We just didn't put them on the deck, and we probably should have. I think it probably had been there at one point.
No, so yeah,
of the deck.
Definitely think about it, and it just really will help your case. Like, you know, as an average consumer, as Max, I'm for some reason my screen is stuck on Max. As Max and I will think about is really, why does it matter for me? Like, how big is the problem? I don't get it. Like we don't know
Right.
what happens behind the scene. We just open Netflix and plays on my phone. So at the end of the day, like, you know, it may buffers a little bit, and sometimes it's annoying on those certain areas. But like, how big is the dollar problem? Why would I give you my money? That's the thing, right? For average consumer needs to understand that.
Right,
So
right.
get some research, and of course, first day, and I know on the first day feedback, it's great presentation, just that piece missing. Anybody else? I think there's a couple more people who would give.
No, I think it
Prakash?
went really nice and plain and smooth. It took a little longer than 5 minutes. I think it took overall 7 minutes. So which is fine. Only thing is that you might need to pay attention. There are some pitching events where it is really timed. So in those cases, you can prioritize which slide to focus on more versus other. So just being aware of that dynamics is important. That way you are not losing that window and getting the message across. I think otherwise it's great presentation. Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
Anyone else like to give any comments on this?
So I think the presentation was really good. It made sense, like what you're doing and the problem you're solving. Again, yeah, make it personal. I'll always say that. And then you can focus more on like the design of the slides too, because you tell the story really well, and upping the ante there, I think, can make that resonate more with people who are watching behind.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, so the visualization of the slides?
Yes.
Right, cool. Thanks.
All right. If no one else has it, so the next is FlyUpub. Ali?
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Sure. Is your screen coming up? Because it is stuck,
Yeah.
looks like. Okay.
I think so. You guys can see my screen?
No.
Okay, so maybe I have. Yeah. How about now?
Yeah, now it is coming. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm Ali Salem. As I introduce myself, I'm co-founder, CEO of FlyUpab. We are working on a very cool invention right now. It's a dual mode flying car. And the first app we will market that we think is the right time to enter is fighting against COVID. So basically it can use as a package delivery drone, but right now we are focusing on an immediate market. So it's UVC sanitizer robot. So, and this is the team. This is me, my co-founder, Dr. Zahiri. We both got bachelor and master in aerospace, but he finished with PhD in mechanical engineering. I took another path, so he did his PhD. My chief advisor, Robop, she was retired from Boeing a few years ago, and she really helps us in terms of design and other things that she believes is helpful. And also we work with Ira, so he's working with us through marketing and finding potential investors. So what is the problem? So as you may know, virus droplets can remain in the air or on surface even after the ill person is no longer in the space. And so what's the problem is how we can disinfect the spaces that many people frequently use every day. So those spaces are like airports, subways, museums, factories, warehouses, and many other places that I cannot include all of those here. But this is a core problem that we are targeting. And our solution is a dual mode, as I explained, it's a dual mode air and surface robot that can carry custom payloads, even a UVC light or electrostatic sprayers. So we want to disinfect public or other places that are frequently occupied by many people every day. And the way that the robot works is it has a variable pitch, left and right variable pitch robotic arms that are designed to align the UVC or electrostatic sprays with different angles. So, for example, if we want to disinfect the floors, the UVC will be aligned to the floor surface. Or if you want to disinfect the surfaces or the wall surfaces, so the robotic arms will align UVC lights to the wall surface. So the ground mode, I mean, the robot is dual mode. So the ground mode is mainly used in limited space or indoor environments. And we want to use flight modes for disinfecting sport venues or open spaces, where, for example, chemical disinfectants are more desired. So we can spray chemical disinfectant with electrostatic sprays. And a more closer look at robot-specific technical specs. So the coverage area is 3 miles, and the payload capacity is 4 pounds right now. Well, but we can increase it if we redesign the subsystems. We can choose better. I mean, we can reach better mileage. Or LiDAR, or as I said, UVC sanitizing lights or electrostatic sprays. Those are all patent pending. This is a unique robot. We doesn't have anything similar to this right now in the market. So our competitors, as you can see, there are a couple of competitors. They are not all of them, but mainly they are very, I mean, they don't have such dual mode capability at all. And they cannot, I mean, they are designed for, I mean, smaller spaces that they have a limited range of travel, and they're unable to disinfect using electrostatic sprays. So we cannot change the payload. They are fixed. They are designed for a fixed mission. They can use the recent payload. Our main goal is to integrate full self-driving and autonomous feature to the robot, so it can do most of the job using a routine checklist. But now we can remotely control the robot. Let me go to the next slide. Yeah, business model. So the business model is based on B2B and most probably B2G or B2B2C. So lease to sale or providing disinfection services or making custom robots. Those are part of our business model. And the market demand right now is over $7 billion by 2022. Yeah. So the main targets, we have two main targets, New York City and Las Vegas. So the reason is because we want to bring the trust to the people, and these two cities really the main revenue stream that comes from tourists is really fragile right now. So really we want to recover those damages that happen by introducing our product to different businesses there. And we talked to a couple of casinos there, and they are very interested to have our product right now. We are in the terms of negotiation right now. So we have a very basic prototype right now.
You can minimize your Zoom window because it is blocking the view.
Yeah.
The participation window or whatever that is, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So how fast can it go, Ali?
Yeah, we really didn't measure it precisely, but 1 mile per minute.
Okay. So really slow.
So this is a quick test of the first prototype, completed prototype right now. And the timeline is a completed prototype that we reached the milestone right now. And for fall 2020, we want to hopefully complete the final product and opening our pre-order sales or providing disinfection services for any business that want this type of disinfection. And hopefully we can start the mass production line by winter, after the winter. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ali, so, I mean, I'm torn on this a little bit. Great presentation, by the way. So thank you so much for doing that. So my thing is always think about what are you focusing on? Like, what is the long-term strategy of this product, right? So try not to sell the, what's like a use case as much, but technology, because people are investing in your tech, not in the use case. COVID could be temporary, right? The vaccine comes in,
right?
Your business, you're out of business. So don't think about that. So what is it? So focus on tech. We have built this amazing technology which can fly and go on the ground. It's better than what's currently existing right now. Here's why it's better. Here are the use cases. Currently, COVID, we're working on getting monetizing the COVID situation, as Prakash calls it. So right now, there's a customer contract we're working on, and after that, and if COVID goes away, our strategy is to use a last mile delivery service with chains like XYZ or whatever that is.
I explained at the beginning of the presentation, right? This is the
no, that should be your core
market.
But that should be your core presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? So and another thing, we don't want to focus on this presentation because that was the first session, and I was, to be honest, not prepared for making a presentation based on last mile delivery because I submitted this, so I tried to present what I have right now. But hopefully, from next session, I bring the idea of last mile delivery. So I prepare a presentation based on that, and we go from there.
Okay, no, that's absolutely okay. Adam, quick question on your comment on this. What is SUAS?
So the job I was doing for Techstars in the Air Force in 2018, we were working on what's called counter UAS. So you saw those oil refineries blown up in Saudi Arabia with those drone attacks. And so UAS is just unmanned aerial system, and SUAS is small unmanned aerial system. And it's kind of a different market than, so we work on UAS also, but we work on giant stuff like Global Hawk, where it's a 160-foot wingspan.
Okay.
So small UAS is kind of its own market, and we're not doing anything in that market now, but it's something I keep tabs on because it's kind of tangential to what we do. And in general, it's one of the most competitive markets there is, really, because it's basically DJI owns the market in the US. They have something like 70 or 80% market share of all small drone stuff. That could change because it's not out of the question that the US government is going to ban DJI. The same way that TikTok was banned, DJI also extracts your data and sends it back to the People's Liberation Army in the exact same way that things like TikTok do. So it's not out of the question that 80% of the market will all of a sudden become open to competitors. But it's just the thing with small drones is that anybody with access to parts and know-how can build a drone, you know? So it's just the differentiation is really key, because I've seen a lot of pitches from small drone companies. I think this is a really good application because most of the sanitizing drones I've seen, they're like the competitor slidey show. They're all ground robots.
Yep.
And there's a lot of advantages if you can make it work to doing a aerial vehicle for doing disinfection. But it's just don't overestimate how strongly investors or partners are going to look at your differentiation, because they've probably seen 10 other companies doing something similar. So like really focus on either the technical or the business model aspects of how you're going to build a sustainable competitive advantage. Just 2 cents.
Thank you.
And I just love all the small drone stuff anyway. So look forward to just riffing on that during the program.
Completely agree, Adam. As I was talking about, focus on tech or your business model. I think you should also look into, Ali, that you and your founders should also look into SBIR applications or small contracts for pilot. I think Prakash has all the access to SBIR itself. And I think as NSF and SBIR will be really helpful to you guys. So start out, get like a $500,000, $1 million contract from the government. That would really improve your like technology, as well as, and then while you're doing that, you can also work on like, you know, building your sales pipeline on the side. So that will really give you like, go ahead.
I was just going to say, let's talk on that, because I know small drone companies that have gone through phase 2. So they've gotten up to like 2-3 million in SBIR. So yeah, anyways, there's probably the biggest market right now besides the commercial market is the DoD market for small drones, because small drones do everything from going with special forces to perimeter and base security to you name it. So they're injecting tons of money on small UAS right now. So that would be one of your best areas of opportunity.
Yeah, completely.
Awesome. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for all feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Who's next, actually? Prakash?
Now Sensagras.
Sensagras. You have Rahul from there. Rahul?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Hope you can see my screen now.
Yes.
I saw the Iron Man situation before. There you go.
Yeah.
Did we had a company who was building that, something like that? Oh no, they're not here today. Okay, we're working on last phases of the 9th company. We at last minute we thought that would be a good addition, but they were just kind of like, but it was kind of cool technology they were working on nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So could I get started?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Rahul, head of product at Sensagras. So we are tackling one of the largest agri-tech problem, which is usage of excessive chemicals leading to pollution, water wastage, soil degradation, and lack of information on soil health for farmers to take better decisions. So in a conventional way, usually they collect soil sample in a small ratio and send it through the lab test, which is less than 47% accurate most of the times. And even the time to prepare a report is very expensive and takes more than 7 days. So we came up with a solution, which is a soil intelligence platform using patented IoT and AI platform for sustainable precision farming, which is basically reducing the number of chemicals used and doing precision farming for better yield output. So how do we do that? We have three key components within our solution. We tackle or analyze geospatial data, that is from the satellite, nanosatellite data of the ground. And we also have in-soil probes, which basically collect the information in real time of the health condition of soil. And then we have a knowledge base of historic performance of each of these crop, which is basically our AI agronomist engine. We compare this real-time data along with our knowledge base and then start predicting and suggesting or prescribing farmers what activities they would have to do for precision farming and sustainable farming, improving soil health conditions and for better yield output. So coming to our product, we primarily have in two different verticals, one being our AI platform, and then our hardware platform, which is basically an IoT probe. And moving forward in the current sprint, we are also preparing an AVFR, so which is an autonomous farm vehicle, which will have different functionalities and modular units on top of it. So coming to a market, we are targeting at a very large scale market. Currently, we are focused on US and European market. And coming to our competitive advantage, we are playing in a niche sector where it gives us a competitive advantage because we are into AI agronomist prescription space, which none of our competitors have. Most of our competitors are into real-time visualization or into hardware, which basically complements with our platform where we can integrate their hardware as well onto our platform. So coming to the traction, we have been working with large-scale FMCG companies and retail chains, which basically counts to 362 acres of land that we are monitoring currently. We are primarily looking at contract manufacturers, large-scale vineyards, and various other corporate farmers in this space. So most of our contracts or business model is into annual licensing. That's the reason we have a very small MRR as of now. Coming to your business model, we have segmented into three different categories. Farmer, that is B2B, where if it's less than 5 acres, they are free to use our platform. If it's an enterprise application where they have to monitor or get analytics on top of our simple monitoring system, then we have an enterprise solution, and then a custom solution for large-scale contract manufacturers. Apart from that, we also have other verticals, like we license our hardware design for contract manufacturing, and we have few other sources of revenue streams. Moving forward, we were looking at enabling our platform with food tracing, and also our platform is, our AI engine is undergoing the learning mechanism for aquaponics, ocean tech, and even food and soil grading. We have been having an amazing team spread across the world. I mean, we have different various backgrounds from our past, but connected together for a social cause. And all of us have been the third generation or having a farming family background, which really connects us. Thank you I'm hoping for more questions.
Yeah, that was a good presentation. Very neat, very clean, very well said, Aram.
Yep.
I think it's very, very nice, very nice. The question that I have on this one, and I'm not sure, Prakash, maybe you can also answer that question. Have you guys looked into government contract by USDA and SPR? Because they would be interested in something like this.
Not yet. Yeah, we are yet to explore that option. As of now, most of our customers have been contract contract farmers, where, like, for example, PepsiCo wants to procure potatoes from various farmers across the state. They use our solution to maintain the quality standards, and then thereafter also proclaim that they have saved X amount of carbon footprint.
Oh, interesting. That's really good for you guys, your metrics. So I'm hoping you're taking the metrics for yourself. And I think, is your company's registered in the US, right? Like, you guys been here, right? Yeah. So in that case, does the does founding team has to be U.S. citizens, Prakash, to get the SBIR?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, like we are in the process of having a founding member from US.
Yes, I think it's as long as your majority, which is 20% of plus share of the company is US citizen, you can get that. I believe that's the case. That would be helpful for you guys to work with USD
In
and
fact,
SBIR.
like we are looking for biz dev role. So yeah, we will look into that option.
Beside that, I think the universities also could be a very good partner, like UC Davis or Cornell, for example. They have a huge department in the environmental science department who does a lot of activities and do a lot of research on that field. So once you are in the Bay Area, I already have some connections in the UC Davis. I will connect you guys and we can take
that would be great.
forward.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
I think that's and when you're talking about UC Davis is one of the top viticulture university.
Yep.
So all the winemakers, all the sommeliers and winemakers up in Napa and Sonoma, they actually study there. So it would be really good for you guys to get an induction there and then have a couple of pilots and wineries up there.
Right.
that would be excellent. Like we would have lighthouse customers by the time we are back there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
that's so.
That would be awesome. Thanks.
All right, great. Thank you. Any other questions on this?
From anybody else?
All right, the next is Spot Quick, Mithun.
Yeah, I'm here, Prakash.
Sure.
I think, yeah. Second. Okay. Okay, 1 second, I'm facing issues in sharing the screen. Just a second.
Mithun instead, you're back. I think you should be able to access it. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I want to make sure
Yeah,
the
I can
access is enabled or not.
Yeah, that's fine. But my system is not letting me do it. 1 second.
After Mithun, Max is your turn, so you can prepare. And after Max, that's Tech Shell. While you prepare, you want Max to take over, like Mithun?
Mithun?
Hello? Did I? Oh, I
Who's
think
here a
we
minute ago?
dropped a couple of people. Because
Oh, he's trying to admit. Okay, he's rejoining probably. Okay, good. Yeah, he just joined. Yeah, he's joining in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, there he is. It works now.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm really sorry. I faced some technical glitch, so that's why.
No problem, man.
Okay, let me dive deep into the presentation. 1 second.
That happens. Don't worry about it.
Okay. 1 second. Fine. I think I'm fine. Okay, so hope the screen is not interrupting. Well, so this is Spot Quick. So we are on a mission to humanize the online shopping. So this is what Spot Quick is all about. Before deep dive into why we solve it or what we solve it, I just really want to tell a short of a story that, that's the reason why we started the company. That's the reason why we are into the picture right now. It was a small day when we 3 friends were talking about it, and we got a product delivered, and when we open it, it was not as same as what has been ordered. We have been waiting for a wedding, but the pair of shoes received from a famous online shop is not as exactly the thing that we ordered. So instead of focusing on wedding, we three friends ran and we just found a offline shop nearby, and we found a new pair of shoes, and the problem was shorter. So that's when that idea got stuck into me. Instead of spending quality time with the people, instead of focusing on wedding, instead of focusing on spending more quality time with family or friends, people are really spending a lot of time in finding a product that we love. And even when they spend a lot of time, quality time into it and find the product, finally they couldn't able to find the right product. So this is the reason why we want to actually start a company and solve a problem of it, and that is when SpotQuick has started. So when we actually started thinking about what exactly is missing in the scenario, why we ran out to offline stores, why basically there was a glitch, that's basically because all the existing e-com stores that's available in the market are voluntarily ignoring the humanness, and they are building a product for robots like Sophia. It's quite a big climb, we know, but as you can see, in all the existing e-com stores, we cannot try the products virtually. Well, rather we have to just read the descriptions, and we have to imagine that it is going to be fit for us. So that leads to the perfect share of anxiety. And the second thing is, even after a large dilemma, after reading a lot of description, prices, and reaching out to a lot of different online stores, even if you chose something, we really want to get a personal opinion from our friends and family or whomsoever we really trust. But unfortunately, in the existing e-com stores, we don't able to get any personal opinion, but we have to rely on stranger reviews, which most of the times are there in order to manipulate the purchase decisions. So that directly leads to the trust deficit. And the final thing is, like, we are really social beings. We really don't want to be alone from discovery to purchase, but unfortunately we don't have an option to socialize. That leads to frustration. All these things combined together gives us a brilliant experience to robots like Sophia, but really it's not engaging, fun, and interactive for humans like us. So we deserve the same personal, humanized, and conversational shopping experience online, just like offline. So that is what we solve in. So here's for the humans of shopping by the humans of SpotQuick. We are building a AR-based social shopping platform, as you can see in the screen, where anybody can join in the groups. The groups are based on the genre that you belong to. You may be a biker, you may be a fitness pro, or you may be a bookworm. You can join to the relevant group, and you can discovering along with the group of people, or specifically along with your tribe, and basically you can discover the product you love. This kind of discovery increases the confidence by 30%, and then that's where our AR technology comes into the picture. As you can see, we are bringing out the same physical tryout experience virtually via our AR shopping technology, where you can see we are partnered with hyperlocal stores as well as D2C brands, and we have a concept called friendfluencers. We name it as friendfluencers. These are basically invite-only influencers who have a specific expertise and knowledge about what sort of products they are talking about. And these three guys are giving us content, and you can discover the product, and you can virtually try on the product. It may vary from a range of accessories to clothing to wearables. You can actually try on that, and once you find it interesting, or once you find it is really matching, you can see the option called share here. When you tap on the share, it just works like an Instagram, where you have an option to share the product with the real-time experts, or else your friends community, where you can especially share and get the personal opinion. So this thing actually reduces the trust deficit and increases the confidence by 90%. This is what exactly we are solving. And here I want to talk a little bit about my team and the value and the system, because basically we believe these three core things are the sole reasons that defines the success success factor. So basically, in terms of value, as I already said, we are giving a virtually try-on options for people using our augmented reality filters, and we are actually a interactive shopping platform where you can connect with friends, family, and even certified reviewers, and you can trust the buying decision that you can make on. And I am the CEO of the product, Muthanadit, with almost 2 years of bootstrapping another product. Right now, I'm currently focusing on SpotQuick, currently into building the product from scratch and focusing on to anything. And Anshar Sundari is our co-founder and chief operating officer. She's taking care of everything from operations, finance, and further investment connect, and also into the product strategy as well. And he's our CTO. He's currently taking care of our AR as well as our AI, and as well as our rest of the app and whatever things related to technology. And here comes our CMO. He's taking care of the growth and evangelism. So we solely believe in a system where we use a work management tool and finance automation tool, and there are some repositories as well as a data analytics tool. In order, it all can be integrated into a single management system where the information flow is streamlined and we can take data driven decisions. And also the journey so far, the aha moment is in 2019, and we got an early traction, and we recognized in Super 30 Startups as February 2020, and we are into Launchpad, one of the premium show of NSR Cell IIMB, and we are incubated at NASCOM. Is one of the key incubator in India, and right now we are into MARL. And specifically, we are new to the market because you can see the quadrant of competitors here. There are a couple of players in the India. Currently, we are focusing on India, but in the next quarter, we are focusing to expand the operations to US as well. But as of now, in India, we are very new to the market. There are no players who are actually touching our horizon, and we have couple of innovation question added to AR as well, and that is our Karma score, and that is our hyperlocal store convenience. So Karma score is in order to ensure the authenticity of recommendations that people are giving inside our platform. It's an AI-driven trust score that uses a complex algorithm and a kind of variables like natural language understanding for understanding the context of the thing, and image recognition, as well as user feedback. And with the combination of all these three things, it is going to give a score, and based on this score, we are gonna prefer the discovery in terms of groups and feed. And due to COVID, we realized that people prefer local stores as well. So we are currently working on last mile delivery as well. And this is the traction that we have brought so far. As you can see, the ones that are marked in green are especially from the advice of the other incubator that we got incubated in IIMB. And as you can see, currently we have 6,000 plus registered users, along which we have 22K discover page views has happened. And for AR, we have already 1,037 beta users, and we have 157 creators. As you can see, our monthly active users is 2,000 plus, and we have so far 852 recommendations happen so far inside the platform. And we did based on we did some event as well. We conducted an offline event, and we acquired 500 users on the single day, and we got some features as well. And we do some influencer marketing on tie-up with our influencers, and these are the primary source of primary source of growth and user acquisition for us. And we do have some brilliant customer feedback from our early adopters. And these are our growth projections. By the end of 2023, we want to hit a 30 million revenue by having a 10 lakh monthly active users. And we have a clear-cut strategies for that, starting from tying up with hyperlocal stores to having releasing our own kiosks at shopping malls and AR glasses and this kind of a deep tech hardware as well. We have to touch down. And our vision for the 2023 is we want to be a core value benefiter for all our stakeholders, like merchants, like influencers, and users, and all our partners. And we also want to focus on providing value for money merchandise for our users, as well as we want to be the innovative new e-commerce platform with hyper rapid growth. This is our vision. And as you can see, by the end of 2021 December, we are breaking even at 50,000 transactions, and we will be the company will be going there. And our business model is basically taking a flat commission out of every single purchase we make. And currently we set up the margin at 10, but we are innovating a couple of other revenue models as well, like introducing AR as a subscription subscription service. And also we are focusing on introducing a couple of other business models like ads and everything. And this is basically a formal structure in order to ask for a fund and how we are going to spend the funds over there. So this is what all about in terms of SpotQuick. So as I can say, it's an interactive shopping platform where you can connect with friends, where you can virtually try on products using our augmented reality filters, where you can make the purchase decision in a real quick time. You can SpotQuick, you can spend your quality time with your family, or you can use the time for a couple of other meaningful things in your life. So that's all. Thanks for your time, and I'm really game for your questions.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It was too fast.
Okay, so one right
Excellent
off the bat,
presentation.
Mithun, I understand. Yeah, it's going to be nerve-wracking sometime to present. Totally understand. Slow down a little bit.
Okay.
There's no rush.
Okay.
Yeah, slow down a little bit. There's no rush. If you go 30 seconds faster, who cares, right? Like, it's okay. 30 seconds over time, who cares?
Okay.
Just keep that in mind, because it's hard to follow up after the mid of it. You kind of really pace it up.
Yeah.
So focus on that. Secondly, I think I really like the presentation. I like the personal story. Yeah, all in all, it was a good presentation. Just slow it down a little bit. Oh, one question I do have, I forgot about that, is does your company, do I have to use some sort of AR device, like an AR goggle or something, or you can directly do that in
No, right now you don't have to use anything extra. So we are integrating the technology with a common camera itself. So you just have to tap on your camera and everything works like a magic.
Oh, just like, yeah, because this technology, a lot of retailers like Wayfair and stuff use that. So that's something you got, like,
Yeah,
like,
currently we are not building that for retailers. Currently we are focused on consumers, but we have the thing on roadmap. We are even looking to help retailers as well. So right now how it works is like they have to upload a catalog of their products, and we convert that catalog into an AR filter, and where the end user can actually apply that filter, and they can actually place an order via our application.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And I think a couple of other comments people started sharing is always use the USD.
Gosh, yeah.
Because it will be difficult for the investors to calculate mentally that, okay, it is a 60 rupees a dollar, or 67 or 70 rupees a dollar, right? So always convert that into the USD.
Yeah, I completely agree that, Prakash, but it was, as you know, I was not prepared for the presentation, so definitely I'll make sure that it will be converted into USD.
Yep.
Yeah.
USD, and also not lack in these names. People know millions and billions.
Okay.
Okay. I really take the feedback from you guys, and I'll work on it definitely. Thanks, guys.
It seems like you spent some time in India for sure. It's getting paid. Now.
Yeah.
Of course, I think after this call, I just directly went out and I can have a morning coffee. I can start the day off, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for your
Adam
time.
has a question. Sorry, Adam has a question. Adam, would you like to
Yeah,
ask?
please.
Adam, you can ask the question directly if you like.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I thought that was really strong from start to finish, and I really get the business model. I can see that exploding. But what is your moat? How do you defend it? Are you like an early mover advantage and you just take up so much of the market that no one else can take your users, or what's your approach to hold on to that market share?
Okay, so that's first of all a brilliant question. So as you know, the one thing is we are prime movers. There are no short of products that gives you both the experience, because there are some short of AR players already in the game, but there's nowhere people are providing a social commerce experience along with AR. So that is the catch here. So whenever you come here, you don't feel like you're doing it like alone. You have a community. So that is the catch here. So that's the strategy here to first of all differentiate us from the competitors. And of course, in order to gain a market share, we have a different GTM. So when it comes to GTM, we really understands from the customer point of view. Very first thing is providing them an experience, and as well as of now, we are not really focusing on making any profit, but we really love to spend on providing some sort of values in terms of discounts or prices or something, not specifically on the value hypothesis, but on the prices of products. So we love to spend there, even though we don't make any profit out of it. We want our users to come back again and again to us and make the lifetime value would be high, so that in the long run, even though we burn cash now, by the end of third or fourth year, we will be actually gaining a market share, and then we can work on a different GTM. So these are the two things I would like to see here in order to gain a market strategy and a key differentiator.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Max?
Yeah. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me make sure that's out of the way. So, hi, I'm Max Montre, CEO and founder of Sports Trace. And at Sports Trace, we provide athletes with information about their most important asset, which is their bodies. We do it through video automation that delivers actionable recommendations for performance improvement. And as a former coach, I had difficulty being able to scale across all of the players, especially when I was on the field, not to mention when I was off the field. There was no way to be able to track the progress of players. And even if I did have video of them to be able to analyze later so that I could see everyone, that's a one-to-one type of time commitment for every single player. That means hours of off-field time spent just pouring through video. And as an athlete, while I had tremendous resources while I was playing the game, I didn't have the opportunity to get as many as I wanted. No one can ever get enough. And I know I had way more than most. And unfortunately, right now in the marketplace, there are two different solutions that represent problems there. One, on the professional side, we like to call it, there are very accurate solutions that they are expensive. They require lots of different sensors, potentially multiple cameras. They require specialized settings in some cases. And on the amateur side, you have some very manual processes that, while they are cost effective, you get what you pay for in terms of the accuracy and the expertise. And in both cases, you end up with the same problem, that you're given a lot of data and not a lot of solutions. Now at Sports Trace, our mission is to empower every athlete and every coach anywhere and on any budget the ability to do more. And in doing so, we have a patent pending technology that is ubiquitous across all devices, people that can use right now and use it to understand what their body is doing to get better in that short time span of a career. Our product recognizes what the athlete is doing, automatically analyzes what they're doing, and recommends how they can get better based on their consistency or inconsistency of form. And the idea is simple. Use your phone and we do the rest. And beyond that, there's no other commitment for the athlete to make. As long as they have video that is existing that they can upload to our service, it works. And how it works is upload that video to our cloud service. We process in the cloud to recognize the sport, to recognize the activity in that sport, and then to recognize the body in 3D. Again, we like to say it's from any cell phone video, but obviously if you break out that 15-year-old flip phone, it gets a little tough for us. Now on top of that, we're doing more than just providing the data back of how you're moving. We're giving recommendations saying, look at this part of the video if you'd like a second look as a coach, or if you're an athlete that doesn't necessarily have resources of coaching all the time, here are some things that you can do to get better. Here are some products that you can use to improve. Here are some drills that you can use to improve. And we've gotten those through our strong partnerships in the industry. Now, our business model is based on subscriptions. For teams, for athletes, for coaches, we have subscriptions at a standard rate, but we also have premium offerings. And we've built this in such a way that there are licensable components to our technology. And in terms of the overall model of how we've approached potential customers so far, we focused on baseball. There's an incredible demand for technology. There's an innovator die mentality in the industry that represents the market inefficiencies that they have there right now. Plus, when we've been outreaching to the college baseball teams, we see that they have great reach into the professional ranks and into the lower amateur ranks, but they are also bound by the NCAA terms that say student athletes and coaches can only spend so much time together. So there's great value for them right now in our solution. Now, in terms of our competition, we use a single camera and we use it just with video. And we look at a lot of the competition out there as complementary. We've built a data platform to be able to ingest some of their data sources so that we can see more of the outcome-based information and marry it to how the body is performing in a way that gives the athlete more information about how they can get better. And our team, we're passionate about sports. I still play baseball and coach to this day, and my co-founder played golf in college. We're technology first, former Microsoft, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to work with startups both as a mentor and as an employee and a founder in different verticals, not necessarily sports and mobility vertical. Now, this market for the solution that we have right now, if we just look at sports analytics, you see that that's growing at a rate of over 30% and will reach $4.6 billion by 2025. But that only tells part of the story. First, because if you look at the athletes that are out there, while we'd like to go directly to training facilities and teams for us to be able to scale better, if you look at the overall athletes out there that could benefit from this solution, the market is huge. If you look at our secondary total addressable markets, where we've been approached in terms of sports broadcasting or physical security or healthcare and rehabilitation, those markets go up by several orders of magnitude. Now, in terms of traction, we currently have one pilot customer that's been working with us. That was a requisite for us to get into here and to understand what the market validation was for our solution initially. And we've been able to get 7 folks on our wait list to deliver. We intend to go fully GA in the fall, generally available, and we've been able to procure our first provisional patent, but we'll be filing our non-provisional patent shortly. And on top of all that, we've built a strong network in this vertical of different kinds of investors, different kinds of experts, and different kinds of potential customers along the way. So help us to measure what matters at Sports Trace. Thank you, and I'll take your questions.
Good job, Max.
Thank you.
Good job there. I like it. I mean, the only thing I have to ask really is, what is your product roadmap?
Okay, great question. I've actually written this down because I saw a lot of great examples along the way.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask offline about, should I put the funding ask in here? Should I put a pro forma? Should I put that kind of progress timeline?
Ask for sure. In one single slide. We'll share something today with this slide. I think we have a Google slide. We have a whole presentation on which we'll go through it to the program. But funding is a very last slide. But product roadmap is also very important as the fact of what are you going to do with the money and how? Show me the progress, right? How can you keep your technology relevant?
Awesome.
Right? So that's something, in my opinion, when I was looking at it, it's video upload is great, but how about I can actually take that video or just film the video right then and get the answers right away.
How do we process on the edge? Which is something, we've done things, but I love it. Yep.
Yeah. So, because you have to think about connectivity issues sometime, or when you're filming and just going to sync to the cloud, and you can talk to the guys at Feather Cloud who can hook you up with that. So,
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the questions. So we'll work on that on Friday one-on-one into that. I think and as I think Adam is recommending DoD SBIRs. Have you looked into those?
I have not. In fact, I'm not sure I know what those acronyms are, but I absolutely can.
Adam, go ahead. You can explain a little bit.
I've heard some mention that Adam had made earlier about it, but.
So there's just a big focus on human performance in the U.S. military generally. So from time to time, there's what are called broad agency announcements that will come out. That's the actual contract. So those are things you could apply for, and really you could just do biz dev through some of the human performance parts of the military. So you could look at the 711th Human Performance Wing with the Air Force, and then you could look at the Army at Natick in Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah, and I'd spoken to some folks that work more along the lines of human performance. They'd actually mentioned that they do some things with the government and the armed forces as well. Theirs is more on the neuroplasticity side of things, basically brain training. But this is, yeah, I love that. I could go through them too and see what they have to
And
say.
right now, dual use technology companies are hot, so that the fact that you have a good commercial application is actually a strong plus for your contracting, win
Okay.
probabilities.
Love it. Thank you for that.
Awesome. I think that's something that all the companies I always recommend, guys. Equity funding and 0% equity funding is also like really good. It's one hard thing is if, for example, the companies are in U.S., India, and Israel. I mean, Israeli company, the Feather Cloud is already working on it, so they know what they're doing. SBIR, every government, if you are in that country itself, they fund the research and development. I think Indian government also has a Make in India grants. So if you're working with Indian government or agriculture, Indian government has a huge agriculture spending. So you like the census guys, you guys should definitely look into that. That and USDA here. So SBR itself would really help you guys for free equity funding. There's no money you're giving. You're getting a stamp of the local government or state or national government. That is huge in VC industry. Like whoever goes through SBIR, VCs really love that fact that they look, the expert, the government is the hardest entity to get the money out of. If they are willing to give, why can't we? So yeah.
Yep.
Any other questions?
I saw that Noah had asked in here, better on the competition. I like that. Yeah, I don't think I stress the competitive differentiators there enough in the 5-minute pitch. I think that's really good feedback.
Yeah, I've got like very great pitch. I just loved hearing it. I don't know what you're selling, but I want to buy it. So
there you go.
So excellent. No. I'm just kidding, of course, but like very good. Yeah, I just wanted to see, because I really care for you, because you're one of us now. How can you beat the competition? What can you do differently? Just that, or are you just the first to market? I don't know. Maybe that's a blue ocean. Yeah, and actually, Amir, on the grants, we are doing this with the Israeli government right now, but also look not only for your own government, also there's mutual funds or mutual collaborations. Like right now, we're trying something with Israel and Japan. There's like, if you are working from the US, but you want to do something in Germany, maybe there's a collaboration. Look for all of these things. They're also,
there are also like US-India Collaboration Science and Technology Fund. And so those are the grants, in fact.
Right, exactly.
Yep. And there's Israel-India also, by the way. I know.
Oh yeah, I know. Really I4F, right?
Oh yeah, I think so. You gotta apply for that one for sure. Definitely look for them. Free funding is free funding.
Yep.
What's that?
Cool.
I'm sorry, you said something. Oh, cool. Okay, got it.
Oh, yeah. I know most of them. Like every country, looking for.
Definitely. And guys, I mean, now with part of family here, utilize that resource, because every one of you is expert in your own field, in your own region. Definitely like talk to each other if you can have like, make time for each other. It's like, everyone is kind of like now in the same circle. Everyone needs to collaborate as much as possible with each other. And also check out the guys, companies who were founded before you. So the cohort companies, cohort 1 companies, check out them, talk to them, especially in, the WeConvert can talk to Abra from Cleanomatics. The Indian companies can collaborate. Like we have only one Indian company, right, in first cohort?
Yes.
And we also have a German company also. So if you're like looking at that, he has a good connection in German science and technology field. He's like Volker Dahm, who definitely, if you're expanding in the European Union, talk to Volker. Volker is connected in that area. I think he was like honored by some sort of science society over there, no? Whichever that is, he was honored.
We'll connect. The good part is being part of the small cohort size, you suddenly get 8 other co-founders for working and taking an interest on your startup, right? So that's the beauty, and each one brings a different perspective and value.
as well as network. So network effects, your network just increased right away, if you think of it.
Yeah.
So leverage that. So, all right, perfect. Who's next?
TechSelf.
Hi, Valentin.
Everyone, do you hear me? Do you see me well?
Yeah, we hear you and see you.
Yep.
Let me try to share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just a quick disclaimer here. The deck that I will be showing, it's more sales focused. So I'm still working on my investor focused presentation. That's why, since we're talking internally, the order of some ideas, it's a bit structured in a different way. And first of all, we're not really fundraising right now. We're focused more on pilots, on getting our solution into the market. But yeah, let's start. And I want to start with the thing that I'm a new dad, and like many dads, I was on a mission a couple of months ago to a pharmacy during the night to buy some baby food. And my baby, my daughter, she likes to eat only Similac Elementum, this one specific baby formula. And Rite Aid is the only one pharmacy that is close to the place I live. And I was so disappointed when I approached the shelf. The shelf was empty, and I was supposed to go back home, take my car, and during the night try to find another 24-hour pharmacy near me. So yeah, that was a classical out of stock, and this is the problem we're solving. We're solving it with our smart panels and SaaS dashboards, and we're providing real-time data from retail shelves directly to the retailer or distributor. So our mission is addressing the out of stock, as I just mentioned. Here's our team, our core team. Me with a couple of years of experience in retail, merchandising. I work with brands like Coca-Cola, Nestle, AB InBev. I've got my brother in my team with totally different skills than mine. He's our engineer, our CTO. He created the first prototype of our smart panels. We have Ivan, beautiful engineer. He's capable to program the hardware and make it work in the way we need it. We have a backend developer that develops all this algorithm that calculate, predict the out of stock, predict the perfect order for retailers. And recently, Ryan Pila joined our team, and I'm really glad he did that. We have some really great cooperation for just the first couple of months. Ryan has also experience working for other accelerators, Fortune 500 companies, and so on. Let's talk a bit about the problem we're solving. So the problem is 980 billion with B. This is the total estimated loss of revenues for retailers and brands over the year. And some more information: 50% of the products are out of stock, and 40% of retailers don't even have a metric or a way to calculate how those out of stock impacts actually their performance. And about the shoppers, so 27 shoppers will actually go to another store to buy the item they need. Our US panel panning solution, as I mentioned, is a smart panel that you can place on any existing shelf and make sure that shelf stays stocked. The solution is versatile because you can easily switch and move it between the products. We offer an increased ROI in comparison with our competitors because we don't need to equip an entire store with our panels, but rather install our panels only for 20% top selling SKU, high turn, high value products, right? Basically the Pareto principle shelf solve 80% of your out of stock problems. We offer up to 100% accuracy, and also we can easily integrate via API and deliver the raw information directly to our client software. Let's talk a bit about shopper experience. So those customers that encounter the out of stock, whether they really do. So 9% leave with unfulfilled cart, 27, as mentioned, go to another store, and 31 will substitute the product with another another brand. Here's the process how it should go when a customer sign with us. So retailer installs the shelf, the system delivers real-time data, inform company employees, supply chain manager about the out of stock. Our customer will keep shelves stocked, and the more real-time data we have available from the shelf, the more accuracy we can offer in terms of order prediction, forecast, and so on. Of course, we have competitors, and the reason why probably most of you heard of so-called smart shelves, AI vision, trucks retail, pencil system, and the reason why we don't see technology everywhere, it's just because the cost of implementation of such technology, it's really more expensive than losing a sale for retailer or for a brand. That's why we really need to be focused and make it cost efficient. How we're doing that? First of all, we don't need to equip the entire store. The other thing is we're offering up to 100% accuracy because all the AI vision solution, trucks retail, pencil system, drones that flies around the shelves and scan the stock, they're not able to scan the back stock of the shelf. They are just able to see the front line. And without this information, you cannot predict the out of stock, you cannot prevent the out of stock. And this is the main value that we're bringing to our customer. We're not just identifying the out of stock, we're preventing it. Why us? This is also a slide more oriented for sales perspective. Yeah, let's say we are still part of batch 9 of Startup Ventures, an accelerator based here in New York City. And because of the COVID, they took a really interesting decision. So we paused our activities. We did everything online, but we'll still have the demo day physically, hopefully in November, December this year. Yeah, so we're working now and focused to get some traction and be prepared, be really prepared for this demo day. Here's an activation timeline. Don't want to spend a lot of time here. This is more technical data for our customers, for retailers or CPG companies. But normally it takes about 6 months from pilot testing to the final decision. Some pricing models. So per food, we're going to charge around $80, and then we will charge a monthly subscription fee. So basically, it's software as a service. And yeah, this is a nutshell about us, where we are. Some traction is missing here, definitely. So we've managed to run some pilot tests with AB InBev in Kyiv. AB InBev family brew producer and producing brands like Corona, Budweiser, Stella Artois. After these pilot tests, we learned our lesson because previously we needed to install manually our models and sensors on each and every shelf. Right now, it's all incorporated in one smart panel. You don't need to do anything. You just install it on the design shelf, plug it in, the system automatically, the panel automatically connects with the Wi-Fi, and you get the access to real-time data. And currently, we're in a conversation here in the US market with Netco Supermarket, small chain based in Brooklyn, some CPG companies. Of course, COVID-19 impacted our plans, but step by step, we're getting back on track. And right now, we're preparing some pilot tests with Key Foods, small local chain based in New York as well. Yeah, I guess that was it. Thanks for having me, and happy to answer all of your questions.
Great presentation. I think we definitely need to go back to the. We definitely need to go well on the investor side for sure. A little bit about. I know you're not raising, but again, as I recommend to everybody, start having conversations, start getting people excited.
Absolutely.
A little bit. So like, we'll work on you on it. There's a couple of things we're missing. You have pretty much everything in it. Just a couple of things we're missing in there. We also want to find out if you can do some research and find out what is the actual, as I say, problem in dollars. Like, how big is, how are they, what is the pain for that supermarket? Which is, again, I get the B2C to B2B2C pain, but how is the market? What is the market itself is losing on that. So by market, I meant like the shop or retailer or whoever that is.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks.
No problem.
So
Any
one
other
thing that
questions?
came to mind for me was that it seems that a lot of the behavioral stuff that you could infer from the activity on the shelf could actually end up becoming just as valuable as all your other data flows too. So that's an interesting angle. Just a random thought. Great presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. We're ready to offer consumer insights, meaning the information which shelf are more popular than the other, why, which time of the day, and so on. But this is in the next phase, probably when we'll be already inside. But first, we should get into this market with the biggest pain, with the out of stock, and then the insights come as an additional like service information.
Also on your shelf concept itself, if you can put the electronics on a stickable tape or something that can leverage the existing shelf rather than replacing the existing shelf with the new one, how you can use the existing
So
shelf with the...
just to clarify, we do not replace
okay.
the existing shelf. So the panels just
I
installed
see.
on top, and we are feeling about 1 inch height, which is not dramatic or
Okay, got it.
complicated.
Yep.
Usually they have enough.
Okay.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And that's kind of what
Right.
Prakash and I were talking about. That was our initial thought feedback. Is like, hey, it'll be hard for them to overhaul the entire thing. Instead, if you can just like figure out a way, which I'm glad you're doing that. That's kind of
Yep.
No, we're just putting the panel on top on the existing shelf, and that's it.
great.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thank you. And the last one is the WeConvert.
All right, great. Let me pull up the screen share. Just give me a sec.
It's already 1 a.m. in the morning in India. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. I really appreciate staying. And
Oh, that's not a problem. I mean, it's
Delhi
work.
people
You have to be
stay
there
till 2
always.
a.m. anyways.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
In Delhi,
Yeah.
people stay till 2 a.m. anyway.
Amir
Like
know
very
it
average.
better than us. Just pulling on the screen share. Just give me a sec, please.
No problem. Yeah, Delhi people in India, apparently people stay up to 2 a.m. and people go to work at like literally. And that was interesting when I had a team over there. People go to work at 9:30. That's like the earliest time people go to work there.
Great. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Got it. Great. So let me start this presentation with a just a random fact. Pranav and I, we have for the last few years, and this is what we captured. Take a glimpse of a random side spot in France, similar observation in a city park in Germany, and of course, take a look at the corner of a busy road in Chicago. These were just the highlights, and now take a look at the problems at the core. All of us present here are very well aware of the tough rules and regulations associated with the waste management and recycling of today's world. And look around yourself. You'll find every individual and infrastructure generates trash, and at a global stage, over 700 million tons of trash is daily produced, but never meets the correct standards. On the other hand, trash sorting is a very important pillar, but surprisingly, only a fraction is correctly harnessed. The rest of it undergoes an unorganized and disproportionate value chain. To sum it up, available solutions are super expensive, labor intensive, and produce an untraceable output or consistency in quality of service. That's where we saw a massive opportunity, and hence WeConvert was born. We are on a mission to build a trash-free world using our connected trash bins that make use of IoT and AI to perform actions such as trash auto sort, collect super useful information, and step up the way trash is being disposed, collected, and treated across infrastructures, businesses, and cities. Our smart trash bins are kind of battery-powered, dimensionally customizable, and equipped with onboard wireless network features, making sure each and every information counts. The hardware setup is haptic. Customers can access the dashboard via smartphone, desktop browser, and even via SMS or WhatsApp services. So no information is actually missed out. The dashboard helps customer assign tasks, manage staff members, logistics, and display other minor details graphically, ensuring the waste management is done correctly. So let me now help you understand how the combination actually works. It's super easy and intuitive. Here's how. Whenever a person makes a trash disposal, it basically means a trigger requested by the system, waking it up from the standby mode. Standby mode works exactly like a computer. The system saves power when not in use. Now, the trigger initiates an image capture request, which clicks a quick picture of the trash, converting it into a data feature, and using the deep tech AI program we built makes the most accurate identification. The onboard electronic sensors do the secondary checks and complement the image identification system and also render the associative directives. And here's an interesting fact. All of this takes no more than 15 seconds in total. Now, moving on to the market size, like I said, it's pretty much massive. Economically speaking, the global market size accounts for $350 billion and is expected to reach $500 billion in next 5 years by 2025, going at a CAGR rate of 6%. And on a quantitative scale, we have identified more than 10 million businesses, enterprises, and infrastructures who happen to turn over a multi-million-dollar revenue and are classified as the target buyers, or as we may call our customers. During the early days of our inception, we spoke to a selective set of customers, and they said they spend anywhere between $30,000 to $60,000 annually to have someone take care of the trash that their infrastructure generates. And approximately 70% of the spending accounts for resource management, trash collection, and treatment processes with no significant service quality. All of this turns over a huge chunk of operational budgets for these businesses and is becoming a rising concern. Now, speaking of the business model, it's fairly very simple. We're looking at a market which is kind of price sensitive, both in India and of course in international space, and therefore we give away the hardware for free. Yes, instead we run on a subscription model that starts from $29 per unit per month. In other words, this is popularly known as HaaS, or hardware as a service model. It's kind of pretty much popular and gaining traction in the IoT space and startups who are operating around a hardware model. So as a heads up, some benefits that our solution has to offer. We help build a complete value out of trash that is a commodity that everyone generates, yet never was harnessed before. Our technology helps your enterprise learn about the slightest dynamically generated information, delivering the right data and analytics needed to benchmark the value chain. Data points such as trash classification, automated inventory, service allocation, management systems, and many others altogether drive huge reductions in costs, enable resource conservation, and result in workflow optimization. And besides driving huge direct economical benefits, we help businesses track impact KPIs, which eventually align their brand image towards a sustainable future and help achieve a zero-waste business objective. Speaking of the impact, here are a few reasons why our solution is needed and the benefit it drives at different scales. We are design cautious people, and one prime USP to our solution is the easiest installation. Our size and dimension agnostic implementation allows anyone to put up our smart trash bins practically anywhere at any corner of infrastructure, wherever you want. It's really that simple. Now, as I move on, speaking of the traction, vConvert has gained a huge momentum since our inception. When we started early in 2019, we went unpaid, yet acquired useful information as a result of a regulated customer feedback exercise that made us validate our product market fit within the first 60 days of our inception. We went on to deploy 350 of our units across different enterprises locally, translating to $10,500 in MRR. On the other hand, post-COVID-19 opportunities are kind of really exciting for us because many businesses in cities are looking at solutions that are contactless and completely automated. We have experienced a surprising 300% surge in customer demand from both national and international demographics in the past weeks. And this is a kind of a North Star catch for us to play on. So much said about the business, let me introduce you to the key people behind the revolutionary concept. We comprise a team of 6 full-time, highly talented individuals, and these are the 4 key management. Pranav and I share the title of founders, and together we bring along 7 years of startup experience, complementing each other with tech business combination. We have had our own share of experiences working together in the past and individually on different projects, companies, and make up a first attempt at the startup ecosystem back in college days. Our leadership and work in the past has kind of helped us land on the list of Forbes Under 30 and other globally recognized media as well. All 4 of us come with a rich experience across our respective expertise. For example, our CTO, Anurag, holds a super strong development experience across deep tech and web space, making him an absolute candidate to lead the tech department. And of course, thanks to Siddhant for the world-class design concept. Similarly, our individual achievements in the past adds a significant stamp to our credibility to build WeConvert today and stick to a common vision. That brings me to the end of the pitch. Open to question. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. That was really good, Ashutosh.